Hello, everyone. My name is Owen Kuhn. This is a presentation for my Principles of Procurement class, and today's date is September 21st. The country I chose to focus on for this video is Japan. So, why Japan? Honestly, I picked Japan because it plays in such a big role in the global trade. If you think about industries like cars, electronics, and even technology, Japan is one of the first countries that always comes to mind. Companies like Toyota, Sony, and Panasonic are huge players in the game, and you can't really study procurement without bumping into Japan at some point. Another reason I chose Japan is because their culture is very, very different from the United States, and that makes it an interesting case to study. I wanted to look at how those cultural differences affect businesses and procurement. Now, when it comes to cultural practices, Japan is really unique. A few things that stand out are their strong respect for hierarchy, their focus on group harmony, and their importance of saving face in professional and social settings. Business meetings in Japan are typically formal. There's a lot of respect shown, for example, bowing and using proper titles and exchanging business cards in a careful, polite way. In fact, even how you hand a business card to someone matters. You are expected to hold it with both hands and take a moment to look at it and not shove it in your pocket like we often do here in the United States. Relationships are also very important. A lot of times, building trust and personal connection comes before the official contract or deal. So, let's compare some of these practices to the United States culture. The first difference I'll talk about is power distance. In Japan, hierarchy matters a lot. People show great respect to those in senior positions, and decisions are often made at the top and then followed by everybody else. In the United States, while we obviously have bosses and managers, the cultural trends tend to be way more casual and less formal. It's not common for employers to call their boss by their first name or even challenge their ideas in a meeting. That would be very, very unusual in Japan. Another big difference is the importance of harmony. In Japan, keeping the group united and avoiding open conflict is seen as critical. Negotiations usually lean towards compromise because the goal is not to get a deal done, but to do it in a way that keeps everyone satisfied. In the United States, though, we tend to value being more direct. We're more likely to say exactly what we think, and sometimes even that approach to negotiations with a winner versus loser mindset. That kind of approach in Japan could come across as rude or even way too aggressive. A third major difference is the idea of face. This means avoiding embarrassment at all cost. In Japan, people may nod or even say yes during a meeting, even if they don't fully understand, because admitting confusion in front of others could cause them to lose face. In the United States, it's usually not a big deal to say, "Wait, I don't get that," or "Can you explain that again?" So when you are working with the Japanese suppliers, you need to be extra careful to check for understanding and maybe follow up within writing to make sure both sides are on the same page. Now, why does all of this matter? Well, in procurement, success often depends on relationships. If I walked into a meeting in Japan with a very, very aggressive American style negotiation strategy, there's a good chance I'd often send some damage. I'd uh, I'd offend someone, damage a relationship, or even lose the deal completely. But if I take the time to learn their values, adopt approach, maybe being more patient, showing respect for hierarchy, and focusing on the compromise, then I have much better chance of building trust and securing a long-term partnership. And this isn't just about Japan. Researching a country's culture before starting procurement valuable no matter where you go. Every culture has its own way of doing business. For example, in some Middle Eastern countries, building a personal relationship might be more important than the details of the contract. In other places, time might be viewed very differently. Some cultures are very strict about schedules, while others are way more flexible. If you don't know these things, you could accidentally come across disrespectful without even realizing it, just cultural differences. From this project, the biggest takeaways for me is that culture has a direct impact on procurement success. Procurement isn't only about comparing prices and signing contracts, it's really about people. And if you don't understand the people you're working with, you're putting the whole deal at risk. By understanding cultural differences, you can reduce risk, avoid misunderstandings, and create stronger, longer lasting supplier relationships. For this project, I used Hofstede insights to understand like pow- cultural dimensions like power distance and uncertainty avoidance. I also looked at articles about Japanese business etiquette and negotiation styles. Those sources really helped me see how the cultural procurement overlap. So, to wrap it up, what I learned is that the better we understand another country's culture, the better prepared we are to do business there. And when it comes to procurement, that preparation can make the difference between a deal falling apart and a deal that lasts for years. Thank you guys for all watching this presentation over the country of Japan that I chose. Thanks.